Let's see if these guys haul it. By the way, Caleb Johnson from Iowa, that's a balanced breakfast, folks.
Can't wait. Rich?
Thank you very much. Okay, I guess it is only fitting that the first Fast 40 would be run by somebody named Bentley. But Ole Miss's Ulysses Bentley IV. It's a 4.6240 to start us off on this Combine Saturday.
And I'd like to give you the numbers here that we're aiming for. If you go running backs in the NFL last year, Rich, top 10 in scrimmage yards. Average size was 5'10 and 7/8, 216 pounds with a 40 of 4.49. So it's that's a bold number that you're chasing.
Nice. Fans of Indiana football, a resurgent year there. It's time for Jaden Blue, one of the many talented Texas Longhorns.
Don't blink.
That we will see today.
He is flying.
That's our boy Blue, 4.4 flat.
He plays to that speed, big time speed. Use him in the pass game as a mismatch, especially on those angle routes. He's a tough cover.
There's our neighbor across the way, Shane Steichen. He's coming by here. He's slated to join us. Same thing with Jaden Blue's head coach in Texas, Steve Sarkisian, stopping by here. The always funny Joey Molinaro is going to be here. David Spade is first up. Never know who's going to stop by at a combine here on NFL Network. Taj Brooks of Texas Tech.
Ultra productive. Let's see how he runs here.
4.53. Peter Schrager.
Ultra productive is right. We know his stats at the college game at Texas Tech. How about this? Captain the last 2 years, first team academic All-American. And I asked the running backs coach, who's the best blocking back in this draft? Said Taj Brooks, Texas Tech, not even a question. Those are the things that might not show up on film necessarily in a highlight reel on YouTube, but it's the stuff you get from conversations here at the Combine.
Here's Donovan Edwards of the University of Michigan. Let me see if I can hear any of the Ohio State fans now. They're used to having him run past. As he's about to run a 40 here.
A little bit of a stumble on the start here.
Oh, 4.45 nonetheless.
Yeah, he can go even faster than that.
Donovan Edwards getting a nice round of applause here in Indianapolis. They won a handful of Big Ten championships in this building.
Also the only one running today that's been on the cover of a video game, I believe.
Trevor Etienne,
I think
of Georgia.
He is another one. He's going to fly.
Of course, he is the brother of Travis.
Could go under 4.4.
First round pick out of Clemson in 2021. Applies his craft in Jacksonville.
He stumbled too.
Stumble there. But he keeps running. 4.43.
Yeah, he's got a 4.3 in him.
So obviously his comp, we're going to check him out with his brother. And he's much taller.
Well, I don't think Travis is 5'1". I know he's taller than that. I feel confident in that.
All right, we'll fix that for the future, but nonetheless, here's.
But that would be low to the ground. That would be a tough guy to tackle. Giddens he's got 4 speed. He runs a little bit upright, but he is fluid and fast. He's got really good vision. He's a real quiet kid, very coachable, well-liked. Smooth. That's his running style, too. Real smooth.
4.43. We're seeing some fast 40s here from the running back group to start us off. There's Pete Carroll. Could they be in the market for one of these running backs? Josh Jacobs leaves the team. They let him walk. He goes to Green Bay and proves, along with Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley, that yes, running backs can be big-time, well-paid free agents too. That'll be part of our conversation here today, no doubt, as we watch Ollie Gordon.
He's 226 pounds. That's a big back.
At 4'6" coming at you.
He reminded me of a Garrett Blunt. Ollie Gordon, one of the more unique, or I should say a very unique Senior Bowl game performance from him.
No doubt about it. And he really grasped it that day, didn't he, DJ? He wanted to prove something because you remember won the Doak Walker Award the year before, and then the next year the production wasn't quite the same. Offensive line changed drastically for him. Talked to him the other day. Never once brought up that the offensive line was different. Just said he needed to make improvements. I liked his attitude.
Number 19 on Daniel Jeremiah's top 50 prospects board, Omarion Hampton of North Carolina. And he runs a 4.47.
Yeah, that's impressive. At 221 pounds, he is big and explosive. I was watching their game against Minnesota, and they've got a linebacker about 240 plus pounds who's working outside in. He has about a 30-yard runway to hit him. As you see, he's going with the eyes closed there. He hit him with everything he had, Rich, and he barely knocked him off stride. I mean, he has got unbelievable core strength.
Back-to-back 15 touchdown rushing seasons for Hampton out of North Carolina. Brings us to R.J. Harvey of Central Florida. He had 22 rushing touchdowns last year.
Bunch of big plays. He's rolling.
4.41.
Yeah, he gave me a little bit of a mix of Tariq Cohen and Devontae Freeman in terms of the run and low to the ground, with some of that vision and burst and breakaway.
There's the Buckeye faithful.
Here we go.
Travion Henderson.
All right, I'm excited for this one.
A terrific running back. One of two we're going to see from the Buckeyes, national champion Ohio State Buckeyes, here today.
Put an Oregon defender behind him and the time will be faster.
Nice. Thousand-yard season, 10 rushing touchdowns. Off he goes.
That was a clean start.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a home run hitter. You know, you think about Jahmyr Gibbs and how he's used with the Lions. You're going to see similar usage with Travion Henderson, not just as a runner, but using that speed in the passing game.
4.43 for a team captain of the national champion Ohio State Buckeyes, and a man who traffics in getting speed rushers looking around there. And certainly, since they already told one of their fast Big Teners from Purdue back in the day that they were done.
This is a good group.
Hunter.
This group is delivering right now.
4.41. Raheem Mostert no longer with the Dolphins, so they might be in the running back market. It seems like everyone could be. I mean, this is RB14, and they haven't all run yet either, and they're all killing it.
It's an impressive group.
Jordan James. Out of Oregon. He had 15 rushing touchdowns and almost 1,300 yards rushing.
Long speed was a little bit of the question with him, so this will be an interesting time.
4.55. Ashton Genty would be here now. He had 29 rushing touchdowns this year. 29. Ian Rappaport, take it away.
Rich, so much of the conversation here in Indianapolis centers around the #1 overall pick currently held by the Tennessee Titans, and some of the big-name quarterbacks we're going to see on this field behind me later today really will factor into that. Cam Ward not going to throw, Shedeur Sanders not going to throw. Every other quarterback, it seems, going to try to show off for the scouts and try to get in that conversation for QB2. Is it Quinn Ewers? Is it Jackson Dart? There's plenty there. My understanding of the Titans situation, though, they need a little more time before making a decision on whether or not they want to move out of the #1 overall pick. Most of the evaluators I talked to, most believe Cam Ward would be the first quarterback taken, but certainly we're just beginning the process. It is all out there, and there is, for sure, real interest from several teams moving up to #1.
Thank you, Ian, and we'll keep that. We'll put a pin in that for the moment, since the quarterbacks will get out after the running backs finish. We just watched Caleb Johnson and his 21 rushing touchdowns this year for Iowa run a 4.540. Montrell Johnson Jr. of Florida.
Yeah, ETN transferred out of Florida to go to Georgia. Montrell Johnson taking over there and
4.42.
laying down a nice time.
They're all still trying to beat the unofficial 4.40 of Blue of Texas. Now here's Henderson Judkins.
What an embarrassment of riches on that Ohio State team as we're seeing these guys go up.
45 rushing touchdowns in 3 seasons.
Looking at
3,000-yard seasons for Judkins for Ohio State.
One of my notes on him says Judkins is thirsty for contact.
He seeks it out. I mean, it's like he's a missile.
It's an unquenching thirst.
An unquenching.
Ah, there you go.
Thirst. Off he goes.
Moving pretty good.
4.48.
Yeah, at that again, this is a 221-pound back.
All right, so we're going to take a break here. When we come back, we'll show you the 40s that you missed and then return live. A terrifically talented running back group is off and running, just like our broadcast on a Saturday. So, while we were gone, Corey Kiner of Cincinnati, he got whistled, and so then he came out, ran it again, and whistled down a 4.58.
It's a respectable time. 40 marks.
Phil Maffa was skipped over. Here's Woody Marks.
Woody Marks can catch the heck out of the ball. I'm looking forward to him in the field workout. You'll see that on display.
Okay. And Damian Martinez of the U.
Big back. He's down to 217, so he lost some. He lost 9 pounds since the Senior Bowl for Damian Martinez.
Kyle Munningai.
I feel like Rutgers always has a running back, too.
Well, I mean, Chiefs fans will tell you about it, right? 4.62.
He runs with a purpose. He runs very hard.
Okay. Devin Neal of Kansas is up next.
There's Brian Daboll, coach of the Giants. They're in a very interesting spot there with the 3rd pick. Quarterback need. Devin Neal, 3 1,000-yard seasons in a row.
Remember, offhand goes up, 3 good counts.
There's Brian
Freeze your
Gutekunst.
offhand for 3. You got it, man.
A nice job with the Green
Good
Bay
off.
Packers. Just building out depth. They have so much depth on their team. I think now it's trying to use free agency in the draft, go get a blue chipper or 2 to add some difference makers to their really good young core. Devin Neal's kind of a short stepper when he runs, but he can make you miss. Excellent quickness. Thought maybe a little quicker than fast, so we'll see how fast he is.
And his favorite player growing up was Adrian Peterson. That's not a bad one, right? 4.6 flat for Neal. Next up, the latest South Carolina Gamecock to be here at the Combine. They've all been testing very well out here on the field. Raheem Sanders, whose nickname is
Rocket.
So there you go.
Apropos.
It is. Another 4.40. We're just racking up the 4.40s here.
This has been an awesome group. This has lived up to the build-up. I think one of the reasons is because they're all running. They didn't have this type of participation in all the other positions, but man, these running backs are not afraid. They are letting it rip.
Here's Brashard Smith. This is where Cam Scattaboo would have been, but he's not running today. We're hoping to see him out there for all the on-field drills.
He can roll too.
4.42.
He's a former wide receiver. Big-time burst.
He had 18 total touchdowns this year. What's up, bud? Oh, yes.
A little
Future Buckeye there, for sure. They're getting younger with each shot. Okay, there we go. All right, back in Indianapolis, a couple of 40s we missed. 2 guys from our buddy Bruce Feldman's famous college football freaks list. Bashal Tootin with the first sub for 440 from Virginia Tech. He was number 40 on Bruce's list. Now number 88 on the list, Marcus Yarns. He spins a 445 out of Delaware. In the building Joe Flacco plied his craft in last year, right? Bentley's second 40 is one that he will not stick with. These are all unofficial. Jaden Blue, who up until Tootin's sub 440 led everybody.
He's got a faster in
and he's got a see 439, much better than 44 flat.
100%.
But it is not better than Tootin's.
As someone who got a lot of 79s on his report card as a kid, I can appreciate the bump up.
Well, which one was that? The last one? Okay, Blue's run, that was the unofficial time here from the Combine. The hand time of Mark Ross, our hand timer, had Blue at 4:35. So we'll see. We could have just seen the fastest 40 of a running back. But for the moment, that's why we call these unofficial. We'll get the official times.
That 4.53 is great here for Brooks. The expectation was he would run in the low 4.6s, so he's already having a winning day.
4.55. Charles.
Hey guys, Brashard Smith from SMU ran, and he's going to run his second one, as we well know. He's similar to Tyrone Tracy last year, who had such a nice rookie season with the New York Giants, meaning wide receiver in college, switched to running back late in his college career, and then went to the NFL at that position. Nice transition for Tracy. I want to see Brashard Smith do the same thing. He talked to his running backs coach this week, and he said he's really improved his patience to the hole before exploding through it.
Thank you, Charles. Here's Donovan Edwards' second run.
He can go lower than that 4.45. He had a little stumble on that first one.
Well, no stumble there. Let's see if it leads to improved time, but it's the same. You know, Tyrone Tracy's season for the Giants, excellent, but kind of lost because of who he was replacing and what that guy did down the turnpike. But there's Donovan Edwards with a 4.45 there. And so, again, it's all part of the conversation that we have so much, as Sean Payton might be in the market for one of these guys after Bo Nix's rookie season, stellar rookie season. Here's Trevor Etienne, and the conversation again is, do you want somebody from this class as a 4.4340?
This is 1.44 after another day.
Now the free agent running back group isn't, as I would imagine, decorated as last year.
Yeah.
Right.
Last year was,
but
it will go down as the best free agent.
But I mean, one of the things that Brandon Beane is going to have to figure out in Buffalo is James Cook, who has made it known he wants $15 million a year, and he just had a terrific season from scrimmage and touchdowns galore. But again, this is the constant conversation that you have, and that for some reason general managers in this league choose to have the running back group as the red line in terms of paying somebody top of the market, because maybe you're seeing as many talented kids as we're seeing here today. You can get almost the same production, if not potentially better, from them. And that's part of the conversation here.
Vast majority of running backs are going to be part of a group, part of a committee. I think that what we saw last year was there was an overcorrection on those premier guys that don't need any other guys to help them out. And we saw that with Derrick Henry, and especially with Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs. Those guys can carry the entire load. And those guys, I think, we'll see the market now correct. And when those types of players are around, they'll get their money.
But why, again, you're saying, running backs are mostly by committee. Wouldn't you say the same thing for wide receivers as well? I mean, and I understand, it is apples and oranges in terms of wide receivers and running backs, but they are both ball dependent, needing to have it put in their hands. And it's much easier to hand it to somebody than rather throw it to them. And then when you have somebody who can have it handed to them and also come out and catch it, and you have those people who have already proven how terrific they are, the fact that it's just like, well, we're not going to pay you 15, 16, The most we're going to do is 8, 9, 10, and you're scrimping on a position where I don't understand why you're scrimping.
I'll give you 2 reasons
Please.
why. Because of the aforementioned touches that they get, they're more likely to get injured than a wide receiver is. And number 2, the longevity is nowhere near what the receiver is. So you're taking on more risk putting all of those eggs in one running back basket.
Here's Hampton. 4-4-6. And again, he can come in and start from scratch, and you could see what the Jets did with Breece Hall, drafting him in the 2nd round. But now Breece Hall's going to be in line at some point for the new general manager of the Jets to have to pay top of the market value. And will they turn to somebody like, say, when that day comes, whoever the Omarion Hampton of the draft is going to be, rather than pay Breece Hall?
I think that second contract for somebody like Breece Hall, you feel more comfortable doing that, and now you can use your draft resources to plug some of these other holes, which are numerous, especially in the secondary for that specific team.
R.J. Harvey.
Gosh, he is rolling.
2 terrific times.
But Omarion Hampton, I don't think he's getting to the 2nd round where Breece Hall got. I was very surprised when Breece Hall got there. I'll be shocked if Hampton gets there.
I mean, Chip Kelly, who called up plays for people like Travion Henderson this year, is now going to be in Vegas, the new OC for the Raiders. Here's Henderson.
We'll show you some tape on Travion Henderson throughout the day here. We'll pull it up, and I'm telling you, the pass protection stuff from him, it's next level. It is fun.
But isn't that on brand for Ohio State running backs? That they know how to pass pro as well as run. That's why they get 3 down backs out of Columbus.
I mean, it's a
Zeke,
pro operation.
Zeke
they have coaches with
example.
pro experience. They have players that are going to be future pros, and they arrive ready to roll.
Henderson's first run, terrific. And his second one, he will stick with the first, even though he's just 2/100ths of a second off of the first.
Look how big Judkins is at 221 pounds. That's so far, it's been a great day for both these guys. The broad jump gives you a glimpse, along with that vertical, of how much explosion they have in their lower body.
No, and I know, what I was saying about Travion Henderson and complimenting him. You kind of looked at me like you were ready for where the punchline was coming. I can be
that was nice.
Highly complimentary, and rightfully so, about how terrific these Ohio State players are.
They're easy to love. Even as a Michigan man.
Did I misread your look? Because you were looking at me like, where are you going with this one? And they're like, oh, you're being complimentary.
To be honest with you, I was just looking over your shoulder at Hollywood royalty. So that's what I was doing.
Okay. All right. David Spade is in our booth. He's going to join us shortly. Stacey Dales, take it away.
Rich, just a little fun fact on Quinshon Judkins. You guys just mentioned how sizable he is. How about the fact that he was a premium skateboarder? 8 years old to 15 years old. He was so good he actually had a small sponsorship from a skate park where he grew up in Alabama. He did 360s, kick flips, flat ground kind of guy, trick kind of guy. Pretty good feet. Maybe the skateboarding helped.
It all is part of the journey, right?
Well, he's got great balance.
Nice. Jordan James. .455. That's what he runs.
Yeah, that's who he is. When I was a young kid, I asked for a skateboard for Christmas, and my parents got me one that had the handlebars on it. That was tough one around the buddies. They couldn't really pull that off. Caleb Johnson. He is lean for someone who weighs 224 pounds.
4.57, slight improvement.
Yeah, and he could carry 240 pounds on that frame.
1,500 yards, 21 rushing touchdowns.
He just
in his final season in Iowa.
Find the right fit. Get someplace where they're going to let you get outside zone, one cut, go.
All right, so now here is Judkins. Transfer from Ole Miss.
He is not running in vans, by the way, in case you were wondering, Rich.
I wasn't, but I appreciate you saying that.
Just loved it. I did not know. Stacy got me on that one. I didn't know about the skateboarding.
Four, 5-1.
Here
He'll
we go.
stick with the first. All right, let's take a break. Come on out here, David Spade. He's joining us live on NFL Network when we come back, ladies and gentlemen. Next here on our Combine coverage, we go to break. Give this man a chair. We got our first simulcam of the weekend. Oh, the two Buckeyes. The first runs of Judkins and Henderson.
I wouldn't want to tackle either one of them.
Nope. And the winner is Henderson. When we come back, David Spade will hang with us. Don't go anywhere. Back here while you're watching our commercials, hopefully. Corey Kiner's second run from Cincinnati.
Yep.
He's going to stick with his first.
That first one works.
Second do math.
Yeah. Always take the lower one.
That is excellent advice, David Spade.
I would say don't even ask me next time. Just take the lower one.
Unless it's a contract proposal.
Oh, look at that.
Woody Marks.
Woody Marks out of nowhere.
From the U, Damian Martinez, his second run.
Nice.
Wow, now that.
See?
He lost a little weight from the Senior Bowl to the Combine. It's paying off.
I lost a little weight from the first to the second run, it looks like.
I did not know that.
I
You guys have a lot of info going on here.
Well, we have a lot of I mean,
this
in
seems
front
like
of
it's
us
on
here.
a loop, but this is it is interesting to watch this at home. I mean, interesting is a strong word, but it's definitely something to watch.
We'll take interesting. I mean, you could have stopped there.
This is kind of the official beginning of the season, right?
Yes,
Sort of.
indeed. Here's the final run that we missed while we were in commercial break. Rocket Sanders with a 4.49.
You talk about finishing. He finished all the way down to the 20.
And this is live. Brashard Smith of SMU.
He's flying.
All right, 4.39.
Ah, now we're getting somewhere.
Now we're getting somewhere.
You always got to run through the finish line. That's what I tell the guy. I do some light coaching. Yeah. I'm a walk-by coach. I just walk by people and go, knees up.
That's the light coaching?
Yeah.
Is what you're saying? David Spade, good to see you,
Nice
brother.
to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for coming in,
about time
man.
you throw the camera on me. I've been here for 20 minutes. Hey,
What do you
everybody.
think?
Everyone's like, why? No, the reason I'm here is there's absolutely no reason. I'm doing a gig across the street, and I'm with Dana Carvey, and when we checked in, I was like, this is a little football player heavy in the lobby for not a season. And then they go, oh, yeah, the Combine. I'm like, oh, my God, how fun. Let's go over there. So,
Yeah, and here you are.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Doing some light coaching.
Yeah, I did some light coaching. I walk by, I go, abs begin in the kitchen. And I just keep walking. But, yeah, I used to do some button hooks. I mean, I used to be, I know the lingo. Yeah. I go like this. I go 10, and then I button hook, and then I go, throw it. Psychologically, then the DB thinks they're throwing it.
And then you
And
would.
then I go, pew, and I keep going.
It's a double move guy.
Yeah.
You're a double move guy.
I even tell him ahead. I go, I'm going to juke, and I'm going to juke, juke, juke. And then he goes, while he's trying to figure that out, I go, pew.
Have you run a 40 ever?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, no numbers, but I definitely did the stuff in high school where you did, it was always the 50 when I was, that's how old I am, it was the 50. Do you know that? It was 50-yard dash?
I've never heard that. Daniel, there he got
It
4.32. Wait a minute.
No, hey,
Hold
stop.
on a second.
Let's put a pin in that story.
Yep.
The fans are going nuts right now.
I didn't think there'd be anybody here. There's a million people here.
There we go. Let's see it again. Knees up.
Yeah, he got
Knees
out.
up. He did. By the way, it didn't even look that fast. He's great. The chain, how much does it weigh? That's all I think about. Is like,
How much faster he would have
Yeah.
run. 4.32.
what's our best today?
That's our best
You're
right
looking
there.
at it. You're
That's
looking
it.
right at it.
I walked into it.
You did.
Good luck, charm.
You're making him faster just by being here, David.
Just by droning on.
This is the last runner right here, Marcus Yarns of Delaware.
Come on, Marcus. You got to want it. Oh, drive-by coach.
You're rolling forward. Okay, they're gonna get you slower than what.
Now that's the real coaching right there. So that's a new one. You're rolling forward. You put that in your arsenal now.
Yeah.
You know.
Rolling forward.
So do you think when the colleges asked for your 40 and you gave him your 50, is that why you didn't get recruited?
Yeah, that's what was one of the problems.
Yeah.
I had a great GPA problem too, so there was a lot of conflux. I did go for football in high school. It was so dumb because I was a skateboarder, but obviously I got. I think I weighed 134 in full pads, and the coach. I was like Lucas. Remember that movie?
Of course.
Yeah. So the coach
started clapping.
Yeah,
So
it
you're
wasn't a ton
clapper?
of clapping, but they did tell me to leave.
Do you want to call the Marcus Yarns 40?
Of course,
David?
We got Marcus Yarns. We all know him from the Delaware with the bird, the bluebird. And here we go. He's off and running. And there he goes. He went all the way. Yep.
Well done.
Didn't stop for directions. All the way to the end. And what do we got? 4:48?
Yep.
Solid time.
That's solid.
Nothing
Nothing to tweet about.
I think you
but yeah.
forgot to yell finish. If you yell finish, I think we get a little faster.
No, I should have gone down there and given a couple fist bumps.
Well, I mean, you're now that you're here, you can.
This kid
if
at
you
the
wanna do
hotel
that.
just goes, "Well, you saw my football. I already got Travis Hunter." I go, "Who do you think I am?" How many footballs out there have me and Travis Hunter?
So did you signed it?
Of course.
You signed it Danny Woodhead.
No, I signed it Peyton Manning. I want to make it worth more.
The David Spade, Travis Hunter football.
Yeah.
That's what we call one of one.
That's a buddy movie.
We noticed your analysis of the Luka Doncic trade, David.
Oh, here it is. Boom.
Feels like Saquon to the Eagles. That's some quality analysis.
That's
right there.
Am I close? I don't know.
I do think so. Yeah. Well, we never thought that Saquon would be let
Thank
go
you.
by the Giants, and we never thought Luka would be traded.
I think my mullet is itching. I feel like it was kind of, you knew. Well, Saquon was great. In my opinion, it was great, but it wasn't the right situation. But Luka, I think you really knew was great, no matter what was going on. And I'm still, I was literally just scratching my head over it. Did you see that?
Have you been out to see him? Have you been out to see Luka yet?
No.
Not yet.
No, I haven't been to a Lakers game this year. Last time I was at the SoFi was to see Def Lepp and like Steve Miller, some old man concert. It was great.
Nice. That music's from the era of the 50-yard dash.
Def Leppard
I love
and
that.
Steve Miller
Yeah.
band. That was your last time in SoFi, huh?
Yeah, and Journey went on. I think I feel like Steve Miller should have gone on later, but Journey, they did Don't Stop Believin', of course. They did about 4 times, I think. And Steve Miller's great.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we got that going
Yeah, we're
for
getting
you.
it's still in a football stadium, so it still sort of makes sense we're talking about it.
But it is the quietest you've ever probably been in a football
Yes.
stadium, right?
It's kind of got a golf football vibe.
It's quiet for having a couple thousand people here. I didn't even notice
Yeah.
that, but you can buy tickets to this, I guess.
Yes, you can. And actually, I don't think they bought. Did they just?
No,
it's
free
it's
tickets.
Free
Free
tickets.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
just like you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm bummed you can't come to the show tonight because it's like a charity, but it would be fun. Dana Carvey, who's one of the greats.
Yes, indeed.
Who missed the 50th.
Yeah. What happened? What?
Dana got the flu right before,
Oh,
and it
my.
was really a bummer because we were all stoked to go. And it's funny. I only did like one line in the whole thing, but I'm going on tour in about a month, and they kept saying, "What's the name of your dumb tour?" And I couldn't think of one, so they go, "You have to do it by Sunday night. We have to know it by Monday." And then I just took the line from SNL and made it my tour.
That's it.
Because there was a bit where I was in a long sketch, and then I left it, and I went and sat back in the audience.
Yeah, that was funny.
And
And
they
you're
go,
just like, yeah,
"Where's
I'm
Spade?"
good.
I go, "Yeah, I got a feel for it." so that's the new tour name.
Was that ad-libbed or that was part of the skit?
They did write something like that, and then they go, "There's no cue card out there," and I said, "Oh, I got this." And then I went out there and I couldn't remember it, so I just said, "I got a feel for it." And then it was close enough.
Good to see you, bud. Thanks for stopping by.
Why, you guys got to take off?
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
Oh, am I out?
Well, I mean,
right.
you can stay as
I
long
did.
as you
These kids
want,
aren't
man.
going to coach themselves, Spade. Get down
Yeah.
there and help them out a little
Fly
bit.
on the wall with Dana
Who's
Carvey
talking?
and
All right, I'll go look for
David Spade.
Schrager.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to break with this simulcam of Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, and Omarion Hampton.
That's a good
What are we
company.
gonna do here? Who's going to win this one? Oh, it's the kid.
And that's a strong stride for Hampton.
Ladies and gentlemen, fun stuff. David Spade here to wrap up hour number 1 of a very long Saturday.